A group of 10 Republican senators are meeting with President Joe Biden to present their own scaled-down COVID-19 relief proposal. That group seeks compromise, including Indiana Senator Todd Young. CBS 4 Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson joins us live now from the nation's capital with all the latest developments. Rashad?
Good evening. This plan from this GOP group of senators is roughly about $600 billion. That's much less than what the president is proposing. However, Democrats are willing to move forward with or without Republican support. A group of 10 Republican senators say the White House's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package is too big.
If you can't find bipartisanship on COVID-19, I don't know where you can find it.
Ohio's Rob Portman is one of the senators pitching a roughly $600 billion proposal to President Biden. The GOP plan calls for more direct payments, but only for those making less than $50,000 a year. It also extends unemployment to June.
Right now, if you look at the administration's plan, you could have a family with 3 kids making almost $300,000 a year getting a check, and many of these people have had no impact from COVID.
The counteroffer comes from the group as congressional Democrats are preparing to move forward with or without GOP support.
Hi, everyone.
The White House press secretary Jen Psaki says meeting with GOP lawmakers shows President Biden is willing to work across party lines, but remains focused on providing the needed level of relief to Americans.
It's important to remember that the size of the package was designed with the size of the crisis, dual crises, as we've said.
Now, another sticking point for both sides will be whether to include state and local government funding. In Washington, Rashad Hudson, back to you.
Rashad, there is some common ground here, even though they are very far apart in their proposals. Give us some more details about that Republican proposal and some of the common ground that they have.
Well, some of that common ground includes direct payments to Americans, but they differ on where to cap that. Other common ground items includes distribution of the vaccine, money for that to states, but one of the areas where they don't see eye to eye is that $15 minimum wage, which is in the president's proposal, not in this group of senators' proposal.
Ultimately, the Republicans feel that the Democrats, President Biden's proposal, is just way too expensive, correct?
That's correct. They're wanting to scale it down to a third of what the president is asking. They're saying that Republicans and Democrats passed COVID relief back in December. Why rush to do it again? But of course, that's something that the president campaigned on. He talked about it in his inauguration speech, and that's why he's meeting with these Republicans today to try to hash out a deal.
That said, there are legislative ways for the Democrats to go ahead and go forward without the support of Republicans, correct?
Correct. It's called budget reconciliation, and essentially they would tie the COVID funding to something in the budget. Republicans are warning that this is not the way to get bipartisan support or to create that unity that the president is calling for.
It's not the way the president wants to go, that's for sure. All right, Rashad, thank you very much for that live report from Washington, D.C. tonight.